This is a See It Played video. The game is Rome at War, Volume 1, Hannibal at Bay. This is the Tunis scenario, fought in 255 BC. The battle has already started. It's still the first turn. What happened was, so Xanthippus has a Carthaginian and allied army over here. Xanthippus has Carthaginian cavalry on the right flank, Numidian cavalry on the left flank, a line of elephants in the front, and then some phalanxes. Some phalanxes in a second row, second line. Opposing Xanthippus is Regulus here, with legions in the center. This is a line of Velites, and weak Italian cavalry on the left, weak Roman cavalry on the right. Okay, what happened was Xanthippus won the initiative, but then rolled higher than his initiative to activate 0 formations. So play passed to Regulus, who rolled to activate 2 formations. He activated the center, the legions in the center, and sent forward his Velites. The Velites all did missile combat against the elephants, resulting in a step reduction right here against this elephant unit in the center. And then Regulus activated Cota over here with the Italian cavalry on the left flank, but didn't do anything with them. Then play passed to Xanthippus again, who rolled to activate 1 formation. And Xanthippus has decided to activate Bostar with the Numidian cavalry on the Carthaginian left. And Bostar is going to take his Numidian cavalry and try to destroy or drive off the Roman cavalry here on the Roman right. So that's where I'm picking up. This is the action phase for Bostar's formation. There is no artillery. There's no artillery in this battle at all. Then charging. We have horse cavalry units that can charge, and obviously the elephants can charge. So where I'm picking up here is whether can these Numidian cavalry charge like that, and these Numidian cavalry charge like that, and together charge the Roman defenders here. I've gone through a lot of, I've reviewed the rules again and again, and I'm thinking the only way, I have no idea what the rules are what the rules mean, what they intend. It's just a round and a round of different interpretations. I find myself at the point where I just have to go with something, otherwise the game is going to be stuck in neutral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with, for lack of a better alternative, I'm going with a strict literal interpretation of the 3rd edition rules. Talking about the 3rd edition rules here, a literal interpretation. And if nothing else, I'll find out what a literal interpretation means and leads to, because I'm not sure exactly what the implications are. However, the first implication is this is not allowed because this diagonal charge across this diagonal point right here is not allowed because there are units, friendly in this case, but there are units in one of the diagonal areas, diagonally adjacent areas. Literal interpretation, no idea whether that was the intent. So I don't think these guys are going to be able to charge together with this unit. Okay, so I'm just doing a charge now. These guys will move up later, and they can even do, I think they can move up and do their own combat in the assault phase. Okay, so we're going to pick up the charge procedure. Charging player moves all of his chargers adjacent to the target area. The defending player makes a morale check for the target area and takes a step loss if the check fails. The area, I think the area morale for the Romans here. Okay, area morale, by the way. There's several different categories. This category is no long units present. There are no long units in the target area here. We only have a leader and a square unit or a short unit. In this case, we use the average rounded up of the morales of all units in the area. I don't think the leader counts here for a morale rating. So the rating of the Roman heavy cavalry here is 3. Strength is 2. Morale is 3. You can add the tactical rating. Rating of the leader present, but Sergius's tactical rating is 0, so it doesn't add anything. Subtract 1 from the area morale if the original army commander of the units there has been eliminated. What's the there? Subtract 1 from the area's morale during combat if the largest long unit, we don't have a long unit. Okay, so I think it's just a roll of 4. Okay. The result is less than or equal to the area's morale. There is no effect. The result is greater than the area's morale, then the individual unit in the area that has the lowest step. Okay, so area morale was 3. We rolled a 4. So there is a step loss according to the charge procedure. Defending player makes a morale check for the target area and takes a step loss if the check fails. Isn't that interesting? I don't think this Roman cavalry, that was really easy. I think the Roman cavalry is done there. Let me check. Well, that was easy. I think he's eliminated. I didn't see a lower step value for the unit, so now figure out what happens to the lone leader. Sergius left there. Obviously, since the Roman heavy cavalry was eliminated before we even got to the next step, there is no countercharge. So what happens to the leader? I think we first need to check for leader loss. So we roll 2d6. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. So roll 2 dice. Add 1 if the leader is with charging cavalry. He's not. He was with cavalry receiving a charge. And add 2 if all units in the area with the leader were eliminated. That's true. So this 11 becomes 13. On a modified result of 11 or more, eliminate the leader. Wow. Sergius is gone. First charge of the battle. Okay. So eliminated leaders may be replaced in the recovery step, the recovery phase, but I'm not sure if he's replaced if his entire formation is gone. We'll get to that later. Okay, this qualifies as a mandatory advance, not a question. The Bostar and his Numidian cavalry have to advance and occupy the vacated hex. Okay, now we go to movement. I think the Numidian cavalry are going to move up. Light cavalry have 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Now we have the literal interpretation again. Cannot move diagonally. That's what I didn't want to think about, because that doesn't seem... don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. 1, 2, 3. Sacrifice the 4th. Area moved. Don't think about it. All right. They charge so they cannot assault during the assault phase. Play passes back to Regulus, who is rolling to activate I guess you're going to always do this because the turn could still end early. He rolled a 3. His initiative is 3. So when you subtract the 1d6 roll from the army leader's initiative, if you get 0, you count that as a 1. So that... Oh. But Sergius's formation was eliminated. Okay. So it's back to Xanthopus. Rolls a 5. Okay, it's a 5, which is more than his initiative 4, which is a 0, nothing. I think he gets one more try. I'm sorry, not one more try. I think if he fails 2 in a row, then the turn ends early. But he rolled a 2. Subtract that from his initiative 4 is 2. So he gets to activate 2 formations, which will be the rest of his army. So not an issue now. Okay, you had so much luck with that last flank charge. He'll do that again. So Hamilcar is going to charge with his Carthaginian cavalry. Way too easy. The exact same repeat as before. Hamilcar charged with his Carthaginian cavalry. Cota's Italian heavy cavalry failed a morale check. Take a step loss, which eliminates it. Okay. Rolls a 7 plus 2 because all the units were eliminated. Is a 9, which is not 11 or greater, so Cota's not killed. But what happens to him? So he's moved to the nearest friendly unit, which is the Legion here, I guess. They have to advance into the vacated hex. The rest of the Carthaginian cavalry move up, and that's Hamilcar's activation. Then we'll go to the center. Okay, so I know I want Xanthopus's phalanxes to stay back from the elephants, but I have the light infantry on each flank. They could move up, but I'm going to have them stay back as well with the phalanxes. So no, elephants can't charge because the enemy are already adjacent. No movement, so we're going to go straight to assault. So we'll see how the Velites fare against the attacking elephants. First things first, so these elephants are going to attack the Velites here. First things first, the defender has to pass a morale check and take a step loss if they don't. The Velites here have a morale of 2. They rolled a 2, so they're good. So the next thing for this Velite unit is, can they retreat before combat and rejoin their legion here? Okay, the Velites are not able to outrun the elephants. The elephants are faster. And there is no exception. There is an exception for light infantry, but only against an attacking force that is comprised entirely of heavy infantry. So they don't get an exception. They can't outrun the elephants. So there is no withdrawing before combat. So we go to the combat step. Okay, this is simultaneous. So the attacking elephants roll 1 die per strength point. They rolled 4 dice, and they even get a +1 because their morale, or I should say, the defender's morale is 1/2 or less than the attacker's morale. The elephants have morale of 4. The Velites have a morale of 2. So even this is a 2, 3, 4, and 5. They still didn't get a hit. The Velites rolled 1 die for their 1 strength and got a hit on the elephants. So I flip one of these elephants over, like that. At this point, I'll say that the elephants, we're going to go through or look at the rampage rules and mechanics when an elephant unit is eliminated. So we have 2 reduced elephants at this point. Those Velites survived. Now we go on to the next one. The Velites passed their morale check to stand and fought back with a 3 and a 2, scoring no hits. The elephants did very well with a modified 7, 7, 7, and 5 with 3 hits, which eliminates this 2-step Velite unit. And then the elephants advance. Next combat there. In the next combat, the Velites failed a morale check, took a step loss for that. Both sides battled, but caused no hits. Even though this elephant is reduced to its 2nd step, or reduced 1 step, and its morale is 3, the area morale is still 4, because it's 3 plus 4 is 7 divided, or averaged for 3.5, which is rounded up to 4. The last Velite unit here with 1 step failed its morale check, lost its last step. Elephants advance. So for all of that, the elephants have destroyed half of the Velite force. All formations have activated. So we move on to the recovery phase. First, there is the opportunity to recover lost steps, but that's not going to be a consideration at all this turn, because you cannot be adjacent to enemy units. You must occupy the same area as army commander or formation leader, and you cannot have taken part in any combat. So that's not a consideration now. Then we have leader replacement. We did have Sergius lost. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. His formation was eliminated. It doesn't look like he comes back, because a replacement is placed with any unit in his formation, but the formation is gone. Then you also look for army collapse. We won't worry about that here.